In this video, we're going to take a look at the string functions in the review assignment. So the first one was to count the number of words in a string, and our definition of a word is, any contiguous characters that are not spaces. So we can use the split function. So we're going to pass in a string. For a generic string, I'm just going to call it S. And we're going to initialize it to an empty string. And what I want to do is I want to split it into words, and then find out, that'll give me a list of the words and then return the length. So that's just one statement. The next one is to replace all the slashes in a string with spaces. So I'm going to pass in a string again. And what I want to do is I want to find every slash. And I want to put a space where the slash is. So I'm going to create a new string to return the result. And then I want to step through each letter in the string S. So letter will take on every single letter that's in the string. And I just check to see if it's a slash. And if it's a slash, I append a blank or a space onto my result. And if it's not, I just take whatever the letter was and append it. So, and that's all there is to that. And then we return our result. Reverse the characters in the string. We can just, so we pass in S. We're going to return a new string called result. And for each letter in S, so let's say the word is the, I'm going to take that letter and put it on, I'm going through from left to right. So first I'll get a T, and then I'll get an H, and then I'll get an E. And if I put the T on the end of result, and then the H on the end of result, and the E on the end of result, it'd be the original order. But if I put the letter on the front, first I'll get an E, and then the next time result will be an E, and I'll put an H in front of it. A T, and first time this will be a T then. And then I put the H on the front of it, so I'll get an H followed by a T, going from left to right. And then I get the letter E, I'm going from left to right in S, and I'll put that on the left end. So I got E, H, T, and that will return the result for me. So you just need to step through it and decide which side of the new string it needs to go on, and that's all there is to that one. Reverse words. So we're going to get a string that has a bunch of words. We're going to use the same definition of a word here. A word is going to be some text that is separated from other text by spaces. So if we do a split command, this will give us all of the words, and then we just need to reverse them. And this algorithm right here is exactly the same as the one up here, except we're reversing words instead of reversing letters. So here we passed in a string of letters. Here we're passing in a string of words, and we're splitting it up. And then for each word, we're going to put it on the left side, just like we did with letter up here, which means that we'll get them in reverse order. And if you don't put this in there, then all the words are going to run together. So you got to put a space in there. Okay, number 5 is to remove a substring at the given position that is the given length. So again, it's important here that you choose good variable names. The string is just generic, so we'll go with S for that. But I want a starting position, and I want a length, the number of characters that are supposed to be removed. So, let's say that I have a string. Let's just take the word position here, okay? And I want to remove I want to take SIT out of there, okay? Well, that's position 0, position 1, position 2, and it's 3 characters long. So I'd pass in a 2 and say 3 characters. Well, I want to take a slice, and the first slice would be everything, from here to here. And so that would be from 0 up to the start, but not including the start, which is 2. And then I want everything from here to here. Okay, and if this is my start position where the S is, then if I add the length on, I'll get this position here where the I is, and that's where I want to start for the rest of the string. So I'm going to return a slice of the string from the beginning up to, but not including the start position. And then I want a slice of the string from start plus the length, so I'm skipping over whatever that substring is all the way to the end of the string. Number 6 is to insert a substring. And I've got S1 and S2. and I want to insert S2 into S1 at this starting position. Okay, so this is where I'm going to split. So on everything from S1 up to but not including the start. Then I want to put S2 in, and then I want to take everything from S1 from the start to the end. And that's all there is to that one. Just slice the string a couple of times. Number 7 is to pad the string on the left. And I'm going to pass in a string. The width that we want the padded string to be, and then a character that we're going to tack on the end. Typically, when you do a pad, you're going to tack on spaces, but you can also, depending on the particular function or language that you're using, you can put some other characters in there as well. And I'm going to put periods in. If you look down here, you can say I did some padding with periods, so you can actually count the characters. Spaces are hard to count. So what I want to do, if I'm going to pad on the left, then the string is going to go on the right. And what I want is I want to take the total width minus the number of characters in S, and that'll give me how much space on the left is supposed to have the pad character. And so remember, you can multiply a string by a number and using the multiply operator. So this will give me the appropriate number of spaces. The next one is padding on the right. This is basically the exact same thing, except we put the spaces on the right side, so we're just turning around the return statement here. We're putting S on the front this time and the repeated characters on the right because we want to pad on the right side of our string S. Okay. Number 9 is a little bit tricky. We want to put commas every third character. Okay. So what I did was I'm going to reverse the string twice actually. So if the number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then I'm put a little comment here. So if the number is, and it's a string, but it looks like a number. So if the number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse it and get the number 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's easier. I thought it was easier. There may be a more elegant way to do this. There probably is. I thought it was easier to start with the 6 and then go to the 5, then the 4, and then every third character I'm going to put a comma in. Now, I could have started here, I suppose, as well, and worked backwards. I guess I thought it was easier to work forwards. So I reversed the string, so I'm going to have something like this. And then for every character in my new string here, I'm just going to take the result and tack that character on to it. Okay. And then I'm going to count how many characters I've done. And if it's divisible by 3, then I want to put a comma in there. So I would get, I'm tacking the characters on the right side. So I would get, first time through the loop here, I would get a 6, and then a 5, and then a 4, and now I is 3, so when I divide by 3, I get a remainder of 0, so I'm going to put a comma there. And then I'm going to do in the 3, and the 2, and the 1, and now it's 6, that's also divisible by 3, so I'm going to put a comma there, which obviously is not correct. And then down here, I'm going to reverse it. So when I reverse it, I will get comma 1, 2, 3, comma 4, 5, 6. Okay? And so it's possible that if the number of characters that you have in your string is a multiple of 3, then you'll end up with this right here. And so I check to see if the first character is a comma, which it is here, then take a result and replace it with a slice that starts at position 1, and basically we're just chopping the comma off of the front. If you think about that one for a while, my guess is you could probably figure out a cleaner way to do that than I did. And if you do have a cleaner way to do it, let me know. Number 10, extract the digits from a phone number that looks like this. So we're assuming it's always going to start with a parenthesis in column 0. In column 4 and 5, we're going to have a parenthesis and a space. And in column 9, we're going to have a hyphen. So basically, we want to get rid of all of those. And that's just taking, 3 slices. So the first slice is going to be from 1, which gets me past the parenthesis. 2 but not including 4, so that gives me 3 characters. You always find the number of characters by subtracting these 2. Then I want to go to column 6. Well, here's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want to start at 6, which would be the 2. And I want to take 3 characters. So again, stop at position 9 and subtract those. I get 3, so I'm getting the right value. And then, so this is position 9 right here. I don't want to include that. And then I want to start at 10 and go to the end. And that will give me just the digits from the phone number. So if I run that, which I have already done, the first one, let's go down here and look at the string functions. This should say string functions. We'll change that. And that's one of the dangers of cutting and pasting. You forget to update everything. So I want to count the number of words in there. And if I do a split, I'll get a list with this, and this as elements. This is going to be considered a word with all 3 of the dots on the end. So I should get 6 for that, and I do. If I want to count the words on this one, I'm going to get 10 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Separate. Let me see. I forgot what separate words does. Oh, it takes doesn't do anything to that one. If there are slashes in there, it will replace the slash with a space. So when I've got slashes in here, I get spaces where the slashes were. Reverse the string. I'll get this. If I reverse the words and there's only one word, I just get that one word. If I reverse these 4 words, 4 score and 7. If I remove the substring at column 11 and taking 4 characters, well, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is the and. If I take 4 characters, I'm going to delete those. So I should have 4 score 7, which is what I get right here. Then the next one is inserting a substring. And I'm going to put the word and back in with a space after it so it looks nice, and I get 4 score and 7. Here, if I pad it on the left, the word hello on the left, I get a bunch of spaces to the left of it. If I pad it on the right, I get a bunch of space. Well, I'm doing dots this time, I guess. So I should get, if it's in a 20 column field, I should get 15 dots. If you count the dots here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. And then if I do the number formatting thing, I get a comma between the 2 and the 3. I get a comma between the 3 and the 4. I get a comma between the 3 and the 4 and the 6 and the 7. If it's just a 3-digit number, I don't get a comma at all, although there was one there before I removed it. And if I want to extract the phone number, so here's the phone number I started off with, and it gets rid of the parenthesis, the space, and the hyphen. If I pass in something like this, it still does what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to get rid of where the parenthesis would be, which is the A and the E and the F and the J. So there's no A or E or F or J down here. And that's how the string functions work.